We've uncovered more welfare waste in Minnesota. Our investigation has already produced results and immediate changes, even new legislation at the Capitol.
Now we go further, uncovering a failure in the system that allows welfare benefits, your money, to be withdrawn and potentially gambled away at casinos and bingo halls. 5 Eyewitness News reporter Mark Albert found welfare waste the state told us it stopped, but didn't.
Cashing in on luck is big business in Minnesota, several $billion every year. And now we know some of that is your money, welfare waste.
Taxpayers are going to be mad.
You think so?
Yeah.
This welfare recipient agreed to help us in our investigation if we hid her identity. After we exposed welfare waste last fall, we got a tip about even more, that EBT cards were being used at ATMs inside gambling places, even though Minnesota's Department of Human Services assured us in November that, quote, state law requires EBT card processors to block access at gambling institutions, including casinos. We went to 8 casinos and 4 bingo halls across the state during the past 2 months. Inside Grand Casino in Hinckley, our EBT user successfully withdrew $100 in welfare cash from this ATM. Why $100? That's the smallest amount the machine would allow. We then watched as she gambled away taxpayer money. How easy was it?
It was easy as 1, 2, 3.
55 miles away at Grand Casino in Mille Lacs, the ATM again spit out welfare money, this time a $20 bill. Our EBT user then spent it all, not by buying bread, milk, or paying the rent, but at the slot machines. We later reimbursed her for her losses.
Played and played 4 different machines. It's unfair to other people who can't receive it and need it.
G56.
At Pot of Gold Bingo Hall in Arden Hills, our EBT user didn't have to wait for a bingo to get her money. The ATM spit out a $20 bill, even after we had approached the manager weeks earlier to alert him the ATM was accepting EBT cards.
Do you think there's anything wrong with someone taking out their welfare benefits at the ATM to use at a gambling establishment?
I don't see anything wrong with that.
So you don't see anything wrong with using taxpayer dollars at a bingo hall?
Kind of, yeah.
So you do see something wrong with it?
Well, yeah, if you put it that way.
The manager then promised to call the ATM company and ask them to stop accepting EBT at this bingo hall. We checked last week, and the ATM still would. We found in the past 2 years, Minnesota EBT cards have been used at casinos and bingo halls at least 330 times, according to state records. In all, more than $25,000 was withdrawn at gambling houses, not just in Minnesota, but in North Dakota, South Dakota, Wisconsin, Iowa, and as far away as Florida.
This is obvious misuse of tax dollars. There's no question.
We showed State Representative Kurt Doubt our undercover video.
Unbelievable.
Last month, Doubt introduced a bill full of welfare reforms after he saw our welfare waste investigation. The legislation would ban the purchase of liquor, tobacco, and lottery tickets with welfare money and would prohibit all ATM withdrawals. Some believe that would go too far. But after seeing our undercover video, Doubt says his proposed law might need to go further.
We need to figure out why it's still able to be used and how, more importantly, how we can stop it from happening in the future.
I think the state can stop it. I think the state must stop it.
State Senator John Marty certainly thought the state was blocking access to welfare money at casinos. Marty even said so last month.
You can't use a cash machine at a casino.
Now he knows that isn't true. EBT users withdrew money hundreds of times from ATMs inside casinos and bingo halls. DHS and its card vendor, FIS, let it happen.
We thought they were blocking them, and they obviously aren't doing a very good job. There are a lot of vulnerable people aren't getting the services they need, and so we don't want a penny of it being wasted.
People like this jobless EBT user who never knew her next jackpot could be one with your money.
Welfare money. This is general assistance money.
And you were able to gamble it away?
Yep, gamble all $20 away.
For 4 months, the Department of Human Services refused to go on camera to answer our questions until today. I asked an assistant commissioner about the $25,000 in welfare money withdrawn at ATMs inside casinos and bingo halls.
That's an awful lot of money.
It is, and any time that we find out that a transaction has occurred at a gambling establishment, we will work immediately with our vendors and request that any future transaction be banned.
Why can't you on the front end say, we're not going to allow this? Instead, you're saying, we'll block it once we find out about it, but why can't you block it on the front end?
Because the technology, the current technology does not allow us to block all the transactions prospectively.
We also asked Assistant DHS Commissioner Erin Sullivan Sutton why there's no punishment against a welfare recipient if they use their EBT card at a casino.
Do you support the idea of a penalty?
As I said, I think a penalty is a possibility that could and should be looked at.
But you can understand the difference between saying it's a possibility, anything could be a possibility, and saying, yes, we support the need for a penalty if you're going to take welfare money out of an ATM at a gambling establishment.
Mark, you ask a tough question again, because I think we would want to look at, if there's a penalty, what can we do to enforce that penalty? We certainly share the concern, and we agree that public benefits should never be used for gambling purposes. I think $25,000 is a lot of money.
That's welfare money.
That's welfare money.
That's taxpayer money.
That's taxpayers' money.
Taken out at a gambling establishment.
That's correct.
And it shouldn't be.
That's correct. And so we will work and continue to work with our tribal partners, as I said, to prevent future use.
To put what we found in perspective, that $25,000 withdrawn at casinos and bingo halls in the past 2 years, that would have been enough cash assistance to help 152 more families for an extra month. And you can see that whole interview with the Assistant Commissioner on our website.
All right, thanks, Mark.
And the welfare waste investigation continues online. You can use our interactive map to see how much and where Minnesota welfare money was spent at casinos and bingo halls. Tonight's story about gambling with welfare benefits started with a tip from a viewer. If you know of welfare waste, email us at welfarewaste@kstp.com or call us at 5TV News.